Hiya, it's me again, Sheila, and this is the next video that I need to do. And I did mention in the last video that we'd moved house, so this is basically going to be the video based on everything that's been happening, all about the move, and so on. So on the 19th of October, we moved house. We moved from Gainsborough to Northamptonshire. I had lived in Gainsborough all my life. I'd never moved anywhere else. I mean, I'd moved houses in the street, but never actually moved out the town. I was born in Lincolnshire and I've lived in Gainsborough all my life. That is all I know. AD moved over to Gainsborough when he was 16, so he's been in Gainsborough longer than he had in Northamptonshire because he was born in Northamptonshire in Kettering. So yeah, he left when he was 16 and came to Gainsborough. Not long after that, I actually met AD, so he lived with me in my house. And so this year, everything got kicked into action that we decided that we wanted to move. And AD wanted to come back to Northamptonshire. I mean, his dad lives over here, so he wanted to come back. I was umming and ahhing about it and I wasn't too sure about it, but it's what AD wanted, so I decided to, you know, just go with the flow. My place is by my husband's side, so that's basically the moral of that story. On the 19th of October, that's when we finally moved house. But just before that, we was coming backwards and forwards, and we was doing that between 3 and 4 times a week. Even though I was actually trying to stall it, I actually didn't want to come over as much, so it did take a little bit longer to get the living room decorated, getting things basically sorted, decorating my dad's bedroom, of course, I'll get to that in a minute, decorating my dad's bedroom and just sorting some other stuff out because there has actually been a lot of stuff that's actually wrong with the house, so I'll get to that in a minute as well. So like I say, we was coming backwards and forwards, 2 hours here, 2 hours back, and that was quite tedious. I found it really tedious and I was getting quite stressed. And like I say, we had to buy furniture and everything. Like when we moved over here, it was a new start, getting rid of everything from Gainsborough and buying all new. And the good thing about over here is they have actually got an Argos clearance. There's actually 2 of them in the country, and it's just Argos, but it's everything that is like half the price. It's like everything is marked really, really low. I mean, I've got a gold pair of earrings that I actually bought from Argos the other day, and these were only $6.99, and they're gold. So Argos served us really well for buying furniture. So just before we moved, I started getting stressed, but I didn't think I was that stressed. But obviously, bit by bit, it was beginning to creep on me more and more and more. And just the whole process of moving my mum and dad, feeling guilty about it, you know, it was just really, really stressful because my mum didn't want to move. So I just felt really, really, really bad. And like I say, the stress was building. And then everything started to go wrong in the house. And literally, when things go wrong, and it says it comes in threes, I'm afraid to say this came in more than threes with this house. Like I say, the sink, it was knackered. The whole entire kitchen had to be ripped out. So the kitchen has been built from top to bottom. So we basically, my husband, AD, as you know, AD, and his dad basically rebuilt the kitchen from top to bottom. All new cupboards, all new sides, flooring, and everything. So that was one issue that had to be sorted. What else went wrong? bringing our 65-inch TV, that got broken, and it wasn't that old. The washer went wrong, and we had to have an engineer out and fix the washer. Shalissa's bed got broken, and that had to be fixed. My bed got broken, and that is still broken. It's actually at the back of it, it's still broke. Sofa within 2 days was broke, and we had to wait a few weeks ago and to be able to send it back, get a refund and buy a new sofa. And we've actually bought a new sofa now. We actually bought it from the Argos clearance, and that's a really nice sofa. Table and chairs, I paid £799 for it, and it began to peel. Literally the paint began to peel off the table, and I was like, oh my god. But I managed to get a bit of a refund on the table, so I'm happy with that, because like I say, it can be covered with a tablecloth. We've had roof leaking, shower leaking, in the utility the sink leaking, and it's just been a shitload of problems wrong with the house. I mean, as of probably about a week ago, the roof started leaking in the kitchen, and it was literally pouring through the ceiling, and it was just a total mess. And then today the shower began leaking again. So the problems are still cropping up. Like I say, the house itself, it's big. It's a lot different from the house in Gainsborough. You've got the drive at the front of the house, and then you walk into the little side door, and then you've got a room that's 21 foot long, and it's laminated from front to back, but it's a really light laminate floor, and I don't like it. So after Christmas we're going to be changing that, and we're going to changing it to like a deep oak colour. We decorated the living room like blue and white. I don't like it, so after Christmas it's going to get wallpapered. Everything else in the room's like really nice. Like I say, we've got dining chair and tables. The table's white, the dining chairs are blue velvet, and they're lovely. And we've got a really nice TV cabinet, and like I say, the sofa's really nice. And we've got some little cabinets in the corner that we bought from Argos clearance. Like I say, we've got kitchen. It's not too big. Like I say, it's been built from top to bottom, so all new cupboards, flooring. We've only got a small side that we work with, and that does pee me off a little bit, because the one in Gainsborough was a lot bigger and I had a lot more sides, so that does pib me off a little bit. Then from the kitchen it leads into the utility. I've always wanted a utility. Now in the utility we had to have a toilet put in and a sink as well, because I can't keep going upstairs all the time, and neither can my mum. So yeah, so that serves us really well. And then in the corner we've had like a side put on, so I can put all my, like my wash tablets in little jars, and wash pills and things, and like bleach and things. That's that. The utility's been painted like a mustard colour. It's nice and bright. And then we've got a cabinet, and that keeps all the cloths and the tablets and medications and stuff. Upstairs, the stairs, there's not actually that many stairs coming upstairs, and it's carpeted all the way through. We didn't change the carpets because they was basically brand new. Our bedroom is absolutely huge. Huge. At the moment, as you can see, the walls are white, but I've just bought some paint today, and it's called ballet slipper. So it's just like a slight pink to it, because I've like got a really prominent pink velvet bed. In here I've got a 6-door wardrobe. Yes, I made sure that when I came to this house I wasn't having my clothes folded on a bloody side little thing. I wanted to have a massive wardrobe, and I've got a massive wardrobe, and it's lovely. And then I've got my vanity table still in here, which I had at the other house. And then I've also got like a little bookshelf in the corner that I've got all my books on, because I like to read a lot, and my favourite books to read is like true crime. So that came from Argos clearance as well. And we've got also like a little ottoman at the bottom of the bed, which we bought from Argos clearance. because like everything's so cheap. And then we've got my dad's bedroom at the back. That's a smaller bedroom, but it's ample enough for my dad. And then we've got Shalissa's bedroom. Shalissa's bedroom's quite a large bedroom. And then we've got a toilet upstairs as well. And then separated from the toilet, we've got quite a large bathroom. It's all the flooring's been changed. Adi did that. We've got a large jacuzzi bath. We've got a sink in there, and we've got a shower in there. So that's basically for the house. And then we've got quite a large garden, but at the moment we've done nothing to the garden because it's just not the type of weather. It's really cold outside, it's really wet, and the grass is quite long. So, but we've got ideas what we want to do out there and stuff. I want to get another fish pond. We want to gravel it, and we've been thinking about getting a summer house, but we're not too sure yet. So so that's just, you know, like for things that we need to get done, but not yet. So like I said, that my mother and father now live with me. So like I say, on Monday we've been here 6 weeks, and it has been a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, I have been finding it quite difficult living with my mum. Like, I wanted my mother and father to come and live with me because I'm their only child. As you know, my dad's got dementia, and it is starting to get worse. And there's nobody to help him. My dad can't drive no more. My mum can't write. She can read, but she can't write. And I bet you're wondering why my mum can't write. That's a whole nother different story. So I decided to bring them over here so I can try and look after them as best as I can. Now, since my dad's been diagnosed with dementia, my mum has been suffering with quite severe depression. So she cries a lot, and she gets very, very agitant very, very quick. So since we've been here in the last 6 weeks, there has been quite a few arguments, and it's been very, very stressful for everybody involved. So it's not been good on anybody. And like I say, I've been arguing with my mum quite a bit, and I don't like to argue with my mum because at the end of the day she's a mum, and I've got a lot of respect for my mum, but sometimes you can say something to my mum and she takes it and she twists it, and everything gets just blown out of proportion, and she just thinks that you're being nasty to her, and you're not being nasty at all, but she just feels like you're being nasty. And then she can't remember anything that she said, or so she says, and then she apologises, and I don't like that. I don't want my mum apologising or anything like that. And yeah, like I say, I am finding it difficult, like I say, because we're used to our own space, they're used to their own space. So I'm finding myself now that even though I'm in this house, I come upstairs around 5 just to give them their space away from us, which I shouldn't have to do really, but I am doing that because, like I say, we're stuck around each other all the time. I've been like cooking for the last like 5.5 weeks because my mum can't work the electric hob. I'm going to say gas, and it's not, it's electric hob, because my mum's used to gas. My mum's finding it hard to learn how to use a microwave because she was used to her own microwave, so that's causing issues. My dad, he says he's okay, but he just seems a little bit quiet, and obviously because he's not used to this whole area, I think it's upset the apple cart a little bit, and he's got a little bit off track. Like in Gainsborough, he used to walk to the shop by himself, and he used to walk the dog by himself. Since he's been here, the shop is like less than 2 minutes away, but I still walk to the shop with my dad so he can get his paper. But he's not doing much else. He just doesn't seem to have got into his rhythm since we've moved over here, and he seems very quiet as well. But I don't know if that's just the whole thing that he's got, because like I say, he has got dementia, and it's 2.5 years into it. So yeah, it's been difficult. And then a few days in the move, I end up injuring my back. So I have to suffer the agonising pain of just every muscle in my back being pulled. And I had to go to the hospital with it because it was so bad. And then in the hospital, so like I said, I was getting stressed. So if you remember in the video at the beginning, I was on about that. I was starting to get stressed. And like I say, this stress was constantly building and building and building. And eventually I completely snapped. And in the hospital, I just completely started crying. And I was in floods of tears. I was shaking. I was rocking. I was like, And he says to me, I can see that you're really, really severely stressed, and I would like you to speak to a counsellor. So they arranged for me to see a counsellor. So the next day I was back at hospital talking to a counsellor, Eleanor, and I was basically telling her everything that had been going on, and you know, just explaining stuff and things like that. And I saw her about 3 or 4 times, and once with AD, and then she didn't need to see me again because at that point the stress had actually calmed down. But in between that, when I actually went to the hospital because I had an injured back, I noticed a few days before that I started with a little rash on the side of my chest here, and I just thought, oh, it was eczema or something. And while I was in the hospital, I had to take my top off because they wanted to check my back and everything. And that's when they told me that I'd ripped all the muscles and ligaments and things. It was bloody painful and all, having that for 3 weeks. And then she says, oh, I'll bring somebody else in and then she'll have a look at the rash for you. She brought another woman in and she said to me, she looked at it and she said to me, you've got shingles. I said, what? She says, you've got shingles. And she asked if I'd been stressed or anything, and obviously I had been severely stressed. I just cannot put it into words how stressed I actually was. And she said to me, it's going to spread. And oh by God, it did. So what it is, when you get shingles, stress can trigger it, or other factors can trigger it. In my case, it was stress, and it follows the nerves across your chest and back, so it will never cross over your chest and it will never cross over your spine. So I had mine under my arm, across my chest to here, down my arm, and across my back to my spine, and it was like red blotches with like pus-filled blisters, and it itches. So you feel like you have got the chicken pox, but you haven't. But then you get the neuralgia pain. So that is really, really painful. Everywhere where you've got, like across here, I had like 7 big blotches, like that. Everywhere where you've got the blotches, you've got pains constantly shooting under it. In. And because it was so close to here, it kept feeling like I had pain, you know, shooting in my chest. And that was probably the worst one. It really bloody hurt, and it lasted for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and then little by little the pain stopped and the itching stopped. The itching was bloody awful, but now because of it I am scarred, and I'm scarred across my chest down here, and I'm scarred across my under my arm. The one under my arm is really bad. It looks like I've actually been burnt, and the ones across here, it's like red blotches, so it has actually scarred me. So yeah, so all the stress caused me to get shingles. And on the last meeting with Eleanor, she told me to actually like write a diary and write things down. So since then I've been writing in a diary. I write in most days. This, what I call it is, I started it on the 1st of November. I call it my journal of well-being. And basically, the first bit in here was just like, she told me to put like 3 things I was grateful for on the day. And what I could put for that day was being alive. My second one was my family. And I had to put something positive about the house because I was constantly negative about the house, and I will get back to that in a minute. So I put a nice home, even though I was reluctant to put it. And I'll just read you a little bit from the beginning of my diary, just a little bit. I put, recently moved home after living in Gainsborough all my life. It's been stressful. The stress has caused me to develop shingles, which is painful. I said, plus it's been a strain on my marriage, which it has, because me and Adi got arguing a lot. I've also moved in with mum and dad into our new home. I said, and I put, this has been a strain due to mum liking her own privacy as much as we do, which is true. I said I moved my parents in due to my dad having dementia. And then I put on the last bit, I need to get my mind clear and my home life running like it should be. And then I've just constantly, each day, been writing in my diary. Normally I start a diary and then I can't just give it up. But as you can see, I've kept writing in the diary all the time. This was today's one. And it helps, you know, like clear my mind and stuff. I try to leave the negative in there. If I'm feeling stressed, I write it down, just leave it in there, close the book, and it's done with. But like I say, to do with the house, right, do I like the area? I'm going to be truthful with you. I cannot stand it. Do I like the house? I'm going to be truthful with you again. I cannot stand the house. I feel like every day that I get up, I feel like I am living in a holiday home and I'm waiting to go back to Gainsborough. That's how I feel. Every day that I get up, it just feels weird here. I feel like there's just something missing and it just feels so wrong. And I know it's just a town that I've left and it's only 2 hours away, but for me, I feel like I've lost everything. It's like everything has gone for me. And I know, you know, you like Eleanor said to me, you know, you've got to give it a bit of time. Well, like I say, on Monday it is 6 weeks and I still don't feel any different. I still don't like the area. I still don't like the house. But to give up this house and move back to Gainsborough, I literally have to throw my relationship away with Adi. And I've been with him 18 years and I'm afraid to say that is just not a factor. I will not do that. I said to my mum the other day, as much as I would love to go back to Gainsborough, I am not giving up on my marriage for anybody, for anything, because I would just feel pathetic as a person. Because yeah, I'd move back to Gainsborough, I could get another house and blah de blah, but then I'm not with the person that I love. So I'm just going to be more miserable. So Adi is more important to me than moving back to Gainsborough. Would my mum like to move back to Gainsborough? Without a shadow of a doubt, but I just don't know a way of getting round it. I mean, yeah, we could get a carer in or something like that, but I don't trust carers and stuff like that because they could rob my mum and dad. I'm not saying they're all like that because they're not at all. You know, there's some amazing carers out there, but you know, it's just, I have discussed it with my mum and dad and it's just something that they don't want. So yeah, so my mum and dad's going to carry on living with me. We're just trying to take one day at a time. Things have calmed down a hell of a lot. You know, I'm definitely not as stressed as I was because it was just really, really severe. But I do get up each day feeling like there is just something missing and something wrong. And it just feels horrid. So I just try and fill my day up doing what I can, you know, trying to occupy my mind, you know, doing things that I can. So that's basically it really. That is the move rounded up. You know, I've moved away from Gainsborough and I thought I could literally turn my back on Gainsborough and not even blink an eye, and I found that it has been a massive struggle. Sad but true. I miss Gainsborough. it's just, I miss everything about it. There's not a lot in it, but I just miss everything. I just miss seeing the people's faces that I'm familiar with, my family. I'm not saying that our family interacted a lot, but you just miss the faces. You just miss, you know, the sound of like the kids and seeing, you know, my cousin's little dogs running in the garden and just having them in summer, having them summery chats. I know we're in winter now, but you know, I'm not going to get to do that anymore here. I'm not saying that everybody's really super nice over here. That is one thing I have noticed. Everybody is just so lovely, and they've been so helpful. I mean, we've got several neighbours and they talk to us, and you know, they're really lovely. They don't know us, but they talk to us. But you know, it's what I'm used to. I'm used to seeing, I don't know, just hearing the, you know, the people talking. It's just, it is deathly quiet around here. It's weird. It's so quiet. Just really weird. But I miss everything. I mean, I hated the house that I was in. I loathed it because it was so horrible, but I miss it. So many memories, bringing my children up, you know, me and AJ's relationship for 18 years in that house. And I know you can make, you know, new memories and stuff like that, but it just feels so weird here. I just can't explain it. I can't just explain just the feeling of, oh, I just feel so weird in this house. It just feels so bloody wrong. I don't know. I just can't explain it. Just please, somebody in the comments, just tell me what I'm feeling. Why do I feel so wrong about the area? Why do I feel so wrong about the house? The house is everything that, you know, I've always wanted to have a really nice house, and this is it. It's a really nice house. Everything that I've always wanted is here, but it's like something is missing. Just enlighten me, people. Just enlighten me. Please tell me what is wrong with me. Have I gone crazy or something? Or just, like I say, if AJ said to me, we are going to move back to Gainsborough, I'm literally, I think the snot would be hanging to my navel, and the floods of tears that would be just constantly coming would just be endless because of the happiness I would feel about going to Gainsborough, even though it's not much in it. And people call it a shithole and bad, but it's my shithole. It's my shithole. I just feel so weird about it all. It's just weird. So sad. It's a freaking town. But hey yo, like I say, I am not as stressed as I was, so that's good. I say try and keep myself busy. Like I say, please enlighten me, people. Tell me why I'm feeling like this, because I ain't got a clue. I just still feel a little bit wrong. Like I say. But like I say, after when we finish the decorating and everything in January, probably around January time, I'll probably look in the sales for like, you know, like some wallpaper and that, because I am cheap. I'll probably do a house tour because I want to get, next year, I want to lose some weight, and that's what I'm going to try and do if my medication will let me. I want to get myself healthy, and I want to get my YouTube channel up and running properly, because like I say, my health went right downhill and I just stopped doing YouTube, and I love doing YouTube and I want to get it up and running. So yeah, so once I get my house decorated and finished, I'll do a tour of my house and show you what it kind of looks like. So that is the end of the video. The bloody move that has caused me that much stress, it's just ridiculous. And everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up or do whatever you want to do. I've got wind, excuse me. Excuse me, that is just so rude burping on camera, but you know me, I like to keep it real in my videos. What you see is what you get. So, like I said, give it a thumbs up, click like and subscribe, and click on the little bell. It'll tell you when I'm uploading another video. When that will be, I have got not a clue. I'm just like telling you how it is. Please pop some comments in the box. Just tell me what's going on. if you've ever moved and you've had the same problem and after a while it does calm down, but either like I say on Monday it's 6 weeks and I still don't feel any different, so I don't know if it's going to calm down. I don't know. But like I say, just pop some comments in the box, even if it's to say hi. I like to reply to all my comments as always. So yeah, so until next time, take care and bye bye.